When are we going to start looting the stores? Because I was stealing before.
Let's talk about these SNAP benefits.
7 kids, 7 different baby daddies. And I do receive $3,000 in EBT food stamps.
Okay, so this woman says 7 kids, 7 different baby daddies, which I don't really think that matters, but 7 kids that depend on her. No fathers in the picture. $3,000 a month in food stamps. What do you guys think? Is that abuse of the system or just someone trying to survive? This is a really, really tough situation, right? There's so many layers to this. But my name is Quan. Welcome to the Quan Daily Show. We talk about things like, cost of living. We talk about cost of living in different countries. Comment a country you want me to cover next. Right now, we're dealing with this SNAP benefits food crisis. So I want you guys to tell me raw and real down below how you feel about what's going on, right? Let's get to this next video. These people are reacting in some really interesting ways, but should we be responsible for someone with 7 kids? Really interesting thoughts.
All right, so I ran out of EBT and I ain't got no food to put up in this house, okay? And I already started sizzling up these little baby hot dogs. I don't know what the hell they're called. What is it? The little smokies, okay? And the kids, they're back here screaming. They're, what's up, okay? And, I'm hungry. They already ate. But, of course, they ate all their food and then they ate my food. So, I'm here now trying to cook more food. So, what am I going to make? That's the question. I'm going to pour in some rice and try to make rice and hot dog, rice and smokies, rice, let's do this. I don't know. Now, I always see people just, whatever.
So, again, I don't want anyone's children to go hungry. I feel so horrible seeing this, just like the previous woman talking about her children. I'm a person with a really big heart, but it is just really scary to see how, people are so dependent on this system, right? I do think it's something that should be temporary, not long term. And I'm also a child who was on food stamps at some point in my childhood, never as an adult. So I want to say that I'm coming from a place of understanding, but I think these things have to change. There's so many people who've been stealing benefits, selling benefits, that this is something that needs to switch. It needs to change. And I want nothing but the best for people. I'm going to pray for these families. And I did see that the government, that 2 leaders did sue the Trump administration, and they're going to try to get some reduced benefits out on the first. That was some news that came earlier today, which we'll check out towards the end of this video so I can actually know what I'm talking about. But we're going to get to some more of these videos. This is absolutely wild, man. I want you guys to comment down below. What do you guys think of what's going on? What do you guys think of all of this? All right, let's see what the news has to say updated today.
42 million Americans on the doorstep of a hunger crisis. SNAP federal food assistance set to run out of money in less than 24 hours. A lifeline for Americans like Melissa Miles from Michigan and her son.
I don't see how we are one of the wealthiest countries in the world, yet we're willing to let people go hungry, all because people can't communicate and agree.
And this morning, the Trump administration defending its reversal, now saying it's not allowed to tap emergency funds to cover SNAP during the shutdown, despite a previous USDA plan to do just that. In a lawsuit brought by Democratic officials from more than 24 states, a federal judge now questioning the administration's rationale, saying, quote, "It's hard for me to understand how this isn't an emergency." Republicans arguing the money just isn't available.
Some of the Democrats have argued that you can use this contingency fund, but the truth is there's no legal mechanism to do it.
But Democrats pointing out SNAP has never run out of funds in its 60-year history, even during past shutdowns.
The money's there, and Trump has said, don't spend a dime. We want to use hungry people as hostages in this crisis.
This weekend, SNAP benefits now set to halt in every state but one. And this worsening food crisis now on a collision course with the issue at the heart of this shutdown, expiring Obamacare tax credits. Starting Saturday, more than 20 million Americans will see how much their insurance costs could skyrocket. People like Stacey Cox.
It's devastating. I don't know if I've ever cried opening a letter from an insurancer before, but it happened this time.
She's been paying nearly $500 for coverage for her and her husband, but next year she says that will jump to more than $2,000 a month.
Just that bill right there, that's more than our mortgage, our...
I'm going to stop it right there. That is absolutely hard to watch, right? And again, we're going to get into some people here who are going to say their counter opinion, of course, right? I want to see what everyone has to say. And again, I want you guys to comment down below what you think. This is a judgment-free zone. I'm not here to condemn anyone. I'm not a person that attacks people. I'm actually a person that really likes to push positivity. But this is something that I think we should all talk about. Again, I grew up in a time and in a place where I saw people, selling their food stamps, pimping the system, doing this so they can pay for cars and stuff and all this. And so I actually do have a bit of a bad taste in my mouth with some of the stuff that has to do with the SNAP benefits. But there are a lot of people who don't do those things, and we need to remember that. We need to remember there are a lot of people who do need this help and do need this money, but there needs to be some major reform. And I know there has been, but that reform needs to come soon, in my opinion, as someone who has lived through some of this, okay? So next we're going to go see what this woman has to say, what she says they're going to start doing, if they don't get their benefits, okay? Let's get it.
When are we going to start looting the stores? Because I was stealing before. Now it's full-blown theft. Because what the you mean no food stamps?
Y'all was clutching y'all purses before. This gonna be the time that you need to clutch them. Y'all was doing that all that long time.
More y'all should have started taking from the corporations a long time ago. Y'all just didn't have that in your bones. Get out there and get in the field like I told you.
Okay, so it is very hard to feel bad for people when the loudest people in the rooms are talking like that. And I think this is the part where people start to lose their, they start to lose their like emotions for the situation. Now, I understand that the loudest people in the room aren't representing an entire group of people, so that doesn't affect me in that way. But this is really, really hard to see. But I still want nothing but the best for people. And it just makes me so sad that these storylines are being pushed. Someone commented on my last video being like, why are you only showing this type of people? I'm not here to single out any type of person. But these are videos that I find on the internet, and I'm just trying to have a discussion with you all, okay? So let's see what this newscaster has to say here.
So it's hard to explain how viral all of this has gone in the last few days, but it appears a large contingent of SNAP recipients are almost excited to loot this weekend. Grocery stores, Walmarts, anything they can get their hands on, 7-Elevens, whatever it is. This has exploded on social media, and it's putting Democrats in a very tough spot. For starters, their plan to blame all of this, the shutdown, on Republicans has totally backfired. Republican polling has gone up this past month. Nobody is buying the Democrat narrative on this shutdown. Everybody's reporting the same.
So, okay. Again, you can see how different news stations kind of their narrative is different, right? Like one, it's more about pulling on your heartstrings. One is more about, look at what this is causing. And I think it just creates a really interesting situation. And again, I'm more of a happy-go-lucky kind of creator. So, if you have something negative to say about me, say what you got to say. But it just makes me sad because the people who are loud and being ridiculous are speaking for millions of people who may not even be on that type of timing. All right, let's see what someone else has to say who is not necessarily for it. This is what they have to say.
You're the one living the luxury life, no job, still getting paid. See, you think this is because we don't care, but really this is because you don't care. Because that's not free money. That's my money. My nails aren't done and yours are. I'm not selfish for wanting more of my money to go to me. I work, I budget, I sacrifice, I skip luxury so my family's needs are met. See, conservatives weren't sitting around in a seance, okay, begging for people to lose their benefits. You think we get some weird satisfaction out of people losing them. But that's not what this is, okay? This is out of all of our control, but you get evidence of where other people's money is going, and you're not thinking, oh, I need to start looking for a job. It's messed up that it's other people's money. No, you're thinking I need to start looting, stealing, and burning. You don't care that some of us are out here grinding while others are finessing the system and then throwing tantrums where the money stops. This is because you don't care. Your reaction.
So this is that type of energy that is being caused by the people who are going online and being angry, right? The counter reaction is going to be, well, that's not your money in the first place. And again, this is why we need to be able to have organized conversations with each other. People abusing the system should not get benefits. Once it's found that you have abused the system, I think you should be cut off. And that's on you. That's your decision. There should be consequences for actions. But I also don't think we should just look at the acts of, let's say it's millions of people, the acts of 20,000 affect the way we view 20 million people. And that's a message that I just wanted to come out here and leave today. I won't be covering this situation much more. Like I said, I want to talk to you guys about the cost of living in other countries. I want to talk to you guys about popular news, but I don't want it to be super political all the time. All right, so here's what's been going on with the federal judges there did a ruling on the SNAP benefits, okay? So just hours before the looming deadline, 2 judges ruled Friday that the federal government must continue funding SNAP during the government shutdown. However, these expecting for the citizens on November 1st will see delays. So basically, though they ruled against this, it still won't come on the 1st. That was that new developing news that everyone has been talking about. So with us now knowing that, what do you think people are going to do? How is this going to go? How should we feel? How do you feel? And again, let me know what I should talk about next in terms of like traveling the world and, seeing how much things cost in other countries or seeing what's going on and, popular culture. Again, I don't like to be as negative as these videos are, but I do want people to be okay. But I do also want people to feel like their money is going to help the people that need help. So it's a really tough situation. And I just want to say thank you guys for watching the videos. Thank you for the love on the channel recently. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I truly appreciate you guys. And let's keep trying to make this world a better place. More videos coming soon, man. My birthday's tomorrow, and I'm super excited about it. So, even though this is all happening on my birthday, it's all right. We're going to be cool. I appreciate and love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, folks. I hope people are okay. Whether you're working at a store, going through this issues with benefits, or even just a taxpayer who's mentally suffering through this, I'm very sorry. All right? Let's just keep getting better one day at a time. See you guys soon. Thanks, folks.